Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
True Digital Media Consulting. You're online right now and so are your customers, but marketing has to be a consistent journey. True Digital Media Consulting can help with your online ads, organic growth, and so much more. Contact us today at 832-934-4436 or visit our website at truedigitalmediaconsulting.com.
Smile Design Studios. Smile Design Studios, family and cosmetic dentistry, offers numerous treatments meant to maintain, heal, and customize your smile. Call us today at 281-969-7388 or visit our website at www.sdshouston.com.
Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
Hey, yo, what's up, peeps? Welcome to Startup Masters. That's right, the podcast that has the illest content, the best guests, the dopest vibe for all of our entrepreneurs or those who are considering starting up their business. I'm your host, Kalia Guillory. You can follow me across all social media platforms. That's right, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, at kogpassion.com. If you are considering starting your business, I advise you, stay tuned, hang with us, go up there and subscribe to our channel, because every single Tuesday at this time, we are ensuring that you have the tools and resources and feeling supported so that you can build out that business plan with your differentiators. You know exactly what your marketing plan should look like because you are getting all the tools and tips from folks who've already journeyed down the road that you are embarking on. Gee, I got a feeling today is going to be yo.
What's up, good people? Welcome back to Startup Masters. I'm your co-host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins, of course. You can find me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with the Z. And let me tell y'all, today is not the day. It's not the day that we're doing any of the foolishness. You know, it's sometimes as an entrepreneur, we go through things. Things pop up in a situation, and it rubs you the wrong way. But you got to get back on that train because there's so much, KG. There's so much other things that has to happen, things you got to be accountable for, other responsibilities. So, you know, today is a learning opportunity for some that are close to me because, you know, I'm having to deal with things that, you know, I really don't feel like dealing with. But the show must go on because we got to sow into you all. For those that are tuned in right now via Facebook Live, for those that are in their cars, you're listening to this on Spotify, you're at the crib, you're at the house watching this on your Apple TV using a podcast app, whatever platform you're utilizing. We're sewing into you so you don't skin that knee up to the white meat like KG always says. Team white meat. We're trying to make sure the entrepreneur gems hit your doorstep. You pick those things up and sew them into your business in the way that brings about prosperity and continues to build relationship currency. Those are the things we talk about here on Startup Masters. I'm getting my win back. I'm getting it back right.
I feel it coming.
I'm getting it back right.
You dropped the word. You dropped the gem just then,
I'm just saying.
Like, we still got it. The show must still go
it
on.
Must
as
still go
entrepreneurs,
on.
we can't sweat the small stuff.
Come on. We really can't. We got to continue to truck. Yo, your bandwidth is only so wide. Fill that bandwidth with things that are moving forward progression, not things that are on the back end. Come on. I'm talking to myself right now.
Listen.
I feel like I'm about to call for a benediction. I'm about to do.
Will there be one?
Is there one? Something's about to occur, but we got one in the studio today.
Do. Yeah, we do.
We got a young lady that pulled me to the side one day and was like, you know what? Let's talk entrepreneurship. Let's talk business. Sat me down and ran my numbers and said, hey, I need to get a firm understanding why you believe these things, why you think this way, what your true passion was, what was your desire, and then put me in a complex situation to make me really think inside about why I gave birth to the sphere in a way that I did. This young lady is pushing forward the culture through entrepreneurship, through consulting with Attucks England, being a co-founder of that and partial owner of that. And I'm just happy to introduce her to the stage, to the table where we're talking about these entrepreneur gems. The researcher herself, Miss Asheli Atkins. Asheli, what's up?
Hello, everyone.
How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm doing good. Cold, but I'm doing good. Warming
Good deal.
up.
It
Doing
gets
really
a little
good.
warm. Need me to turn the fan off for you?
No, because I would have it about 80 degrees in here. Like,
I believe-
if I could have
Oh,
it my
okay.
way. I would
Oh,
have it
Lord,
nice
you
and
take
warm.
iron pills or no?
No, and then
You
see,
little
and
nigga,
I
I'm
have
just
not been
asking
taking them. I
questions.
need to.
that
You're
was the
actually
first
right.
question.
You're absolutely right. My iron is actually really low, but I'm gonna do that when I get home. Okay.
Well, we're here
Double
about
up.
your help.
Double up.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. We're gonna level up on
Start a
that.
Master Health Edition. I appreciate it.
Better talk about it. But what we do on this show, obviously, we take people on this entrepreneur journey. We're talking about the past, we're talking about the present, and of course, we're talking about the future. And we want to sow your trials and tribulations, the things that you've learned along that way, into others who are following this show, who are subscribed to our platform, because there's always a gift and a gem to be learned from those that have been through the trenches. Are you ready to go
Absolutely.
along this journey
I'm
with
ready.
us?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. For those that are tuned in right now, make sure you grab your digital pads, your pens. You get ready because it's popping. What's up, Facebook Live? Remember, you can ask questions via Facebook Live right now. For those that are tuned in, say hello so we can shout you out in chat.
Definitely.
Because there may be something you need an answer to. And if we can't get to you live, we'll definitely hit you up via email or on social media. But Asheli,
Yes.
my dear, upcoming Dr. Asheli.
Yes,
Let
yes.
me,
Come
we're
on.
gonna speak that.
Okay. We gotta
right
speak
now.
because we're
gonna
in that
speak
last
that.
year. Yeah, we gotta speak it.
Take us back in the time. Let's rewind the tape
Mm-hmm.
to when you first started this journey.
Okay.
What made you want to put the entrepreneur hat on and walk into the limelight of consulting, let alone researching?
Okay. So I always wanted to own my own business, and I was really interested in event planning. And so I was communication major undergrad at Prairie View, shout out to PV. But I didn't have any actual business experience, any business knowledge. So while working at Prairie View as a program coordinator, I decided to get my MBA because I'm like, okay, they're going to teach me about what I need to know in this MBA program. But they did. Texas Women's, they definitely taught me about how to run a business, how to operate a business, but they didn't talk about things that I felt like, really important, like social identity, which like, how does my gender impact my ability to be an entrepreneur? How does my race impact it? And they didn't talk about these things. And so while in the program, I was like, something's missing. I still want to be an entrepreneur, but I feel like I could do a little bit more. So after I got my MBA, I still continued to do event planning. Then I'm like, this really ain't for me because I have like this pool of knowledge and I feel like it could be more valuable elsewhere. And so I was working for the Black Chamber, doing some consulting work for them. And then my business partner, Warren Luckett, pulled me aside and was like, hey, we've done all these events together. We've shared all this information. We should start a company together. And I'm like, okay, cool. He has, if you're not familiar with Warren, he has Brand War Wines, which is a Black-owned wine distribution company in Houston. And then he does Black Restaurant Week. So I'm like, this is a serial entrepreneur who's really good at doing what he does. And I'm like, I have the research aspect. Like, I understand the market, I understand demographics, all of these things, but we're missing a piece. We're like, who knows money? Because I don't know money. Like, if you ask me to like budget something, I can round it up, use a calculator. I can only do so much. And so he actually had his friend, which is Cornell England. Cornell is a financial advisor, and so Cornell joined our team, and then the three of us together formed Attucks England, which is named after Crispus Attucks, who was the first on the front lines of the war. I'm not really good at history. Warren, they'd be upset with me, but front line of something. And so that is our mission, is to be on the front line of change. And so together we work with specifically, at this point right now, small Black-owned businesses. Our area of specialty is actually restaurants, because a lot of times Warren works with these restaurants with Black Restaurant Week that needed a little extra assistance. And so they filter into our firm. And so we help them in all areas. We've worked with Shakti over Edda's Kitchen. We've worked with Johnny Rhodes over Indigo Restaurant. We have a vast list. We work with Verizon Wireless. We helped them to host this event for women in STEM. And so we've done a lot of that. But again, it was the point of like, okay, here we are with this consulting firm. Here I am with this knowledge. Now what? And so then I decided to go back to get my PhD. And I wanted to not look at the business school, but I wanted to go with sociology, because sociology talks about race, gender, class, sexuality, everything.
It's inclusive.
It's really inclusive. And that was really important to me, which business schools often don't talk about these things. And so I specialize as a sociologist, but economic sociologist, because I study businesses.
I mean, it was so many gems. That was
Sorry, that's a lot.
No,
and we're about to
this is what
rewind
this-
it.
We're
Yeah.
gonna peel the onion
Yeah.
back.
Okay,
rewind
good,
the tape
good,
a bit,
okay,
because
good.
I hope G talks about getting your digital pen and pads
Gotta have
together.
that ready.
I hope you had it ready, just in case you need us to rewind it back. I'm gonna drop what I got.
Okay.
Sure.
You talked about you and Warren. Money.
Yeah.
There's a missing piece to this. Did you catch that it was a partnership?
Come on.
Did you catch that the
Absolutely.
strengths that they didn't bring to the table, they went out and sought who can add value?
Come on.
Whose strength is my weakness? Listen.
Stop trying to learn quick and
Okay.
I mean,
Talk about it.
Hire
Stop it.
someone.
Hire somebody to listen. If you stop
You shaking
worrying
the table.
about
I
your
like this.
weaknesses, you gotta go and operate in your strengths. There's somebody that will do what you don't care to do, and they're gonna be creative doing it. The second piece that I thought was valuable, especially around this table and for our audience, you talked about there's a missing piece while you were going through your program.
Yeah.
And what I got from that, G, is consulting is a saturated market, right?
Absolutely.
But your white space is what you talked about. So let me ask those folks who are out here thinking about and considering being a consultant, what's your white space? Where is it?
Jeopardy sound.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because some people are going to have to sit back and think about that, right?
Right. We just went, I want to be a consultant.
Yeah. Yeah.
On what?
Come on. What do you consult?
Leadership? Okay, great. But what aspect of it?
Yes, indeed. So moving back. So obviously, this is where a lot of the conversation is missing amongst entrepreneurs. It's in that inception time, right? The things that are happening right there at that moment. Talk a little bit about the days after you've said, okay, we're going to build this partnership. We're going to build this, non-single member LLC. We're going to build something that we can stand on that's foundationally sound. What were some of the trials and tribulations that y'all immediately hit, that may have deferred that dream a little bit?
Okay. In case anybody doesn't know me, I'm a very honest, blunt person. And things like that, like when you come to the table as partners, personalities are the first things that hit the table.
Sure.
Yep.
And it's three of us. And so it's not just two people with two personalities, three people with three personalities.
And who's the third person now?
Warren, Cornell, and then myself, Cornell,
Gotcha.
England. Yeah. So the personalities were the biggest issue in realizing like everybody, we have one business and we have to figure out how to be cohesive enough to where it operates seamlessly, especially in the face of clients. Because you don't want to seem like, you say one thing, they say another thing. It has to be consistent. And so we were trying to figure out this cohesiveness, because oftentimes businesses want to mimic other businesses and be like, okay, well, this is how they do it. I'm gonna do the exact
Sure.
same thing.
Yep.
They're not us. They are not from where we're from. And so we had to figure out, what does our business model look like? We're young, we're black, we're all, we've all well-traveled individuals. And so the first thing that hit the table was personality issues. And then also the next thing was letting each person do what they do. Like Cornell's good with money. I may think I know how to operate with money, but I don't. I'm good with my research. They may think they understand how to do it, but they don't. And so it's allowing everyone to be experts in their area without trying to tell them what to do, and then just trusting them. And that's the third thing, is trust. If I call you my business partner, but I don't trust your opinion, or I don't trust when what you say when I'm not in the room,
Listen.
what's the point of you being my business partner?
Listen.
And so I'm to the point now where I know that even when I'm not in the room, they individually will represent our brand well enough to where they won't embarrass me and I won't embarrass them.
You better
say
trust
that
somebody.
again. Did you hear
You
Rewind?
better,
Listen.
for those that are tuned in right now, make sure y'all gathered that. If you're building a business, you've got to be partnered with those that you trust. When people want to do business with somebody, it's people they know, like, and guess what? Trust. You can't build a business. You can't have a solid foundation without that trust. And when it comes to trust, there are people that you need to be able to trust to get things done, like
absolutely.
marketing. And this particular portion of our show is sponsored by True Digital Media Services. So you're online right now, and so are your customers. The question is, how do you actively reach them? Marketing has to be a consistent journey, and we're here to walk with you every step of the way. True Digital Media Consulting can help with website development, online ads, your business reputation, and organic growth on search engines. Give them a call today to discuss a customized strategy for your business at area code 832-934-4436 or send an email over to info@truedigitalmediaconsulting.com. Mention the Sphere to receive a free, yes, we said it, folks, free 30-minute consultation. So they know their white space. How about you all? Make sure y'all check out truedigitalmediaconsulting.com. And Facebook Livers, I see y'all tuned in. Y'all didn't want to say hi, but we see y'all watching. Now we see the eyes popping up. So guess what, folks? We gotta shut you down on Facebook, and you've got to go subscribe. So head over to sphere.tv/startup masters, and we've got a few options for you that you can see right now on the screen. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. You can even find us in the kitchen while you're whipping up that work. We're talking about the healthy work on your Amazon Alexa. And at the same time, make sure you share this out with your family, your friends, your colleagues. Share with your loved ones. Share with your haters. Share with anyone you know that needs to find those entrepreneurial gems to sow back in their business. And while you're there, give us that constructive criticism. We want to know how we're doing. We want to know if we're getting the job done for you when it comes to talking about entrepreneurship. So give us those likes, those dislikes, hit those stars. Leave the comments. They help us build better shows to sow into you. And last but not least, speaking of sowing, sow a seed. Head over to sphere.tv/donate. We got two options. One is a one-time donation right on the website, but the second option, folks, is gonna be fire. So the second option, we're doing Patreon exclusives right there via Patreon. So you can tap in and do a subscription model for $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month if you're truly rocking with us. And we're gonna give you exclusive content, not just from this show, but we're dropping exclusive content from all the shows on our platform. So, show's not over, folks, but make sure you subscribe for these entrepreneurial gems right here at the Sphere. So, Ash, let's keep this party rolling. Can I shorten your name up? Is that all right?
No.
We feel like we're friends. No, you don't like that? Okay.
No.
We're going to stay with
It's
Dr.
only
Atkins.
6 letters. It's only 6
We're going to
letters,
stay with
Ashley.
Ashley.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. So talk a little bit about today. We know you're heavy into research. We've heard you mention it a couple of times. Talk about that strategic role you play in Attucks England Consulting that surrounds research and what that power truly looks like.
Okay. So, like I mentioned before, I specialize in researching entrepreneurs, but specifically in regards to race and gender and entrepreneurship. So we work with Black businesses, and it's important to me that not only am I familiar with businesses in general, but I'm familiar with what these businesses go through based on their identity. And so we're aware that, you know, when you open up a restaurant, you might want to market to everyone, but will people have will they take certain issues with you because you're a Black business? And so then I work with them about how to navigate these barriers, whether it's through marketing, whether it's through certain terms that they're using online, just in every area. How do we make sure that people are not, I don't want to say turned off, but it's honest, it's true. Like there are people who, when they find out you're a Black business, they come up with these certain stereotypes and they don't want to use your business. And so in the consulting firm, that's where I specialize. I specialize in marketing, understanding the market that you're targeting, and then looking at, hate to say it, like saturation, like you create these companies, is there a need for it? And so we don't want any of our clients to go out there and just, you know, we're working with you, we're asking you to pay us, but we know your business is not going to thrive. You haven't created a sustainable model. And so I look at things like that as well.
Now, when you say the term, and I want to make sure we clarify, define African American or Black business. When you say that, what do you mean by that?
So that's heavy. So there is African American, which is a U.S. born Black, and then there's Black, which could be in sociology, I know some people may not appreciate this, but it's the sociological definition.
Facts. Here are the facts.
Okay. There are African Americans and then there are Blacks. Black could mean anyone within the African diaspora. So that could mean somebody who's Afro-Latino, somebody who's Nigerian, anyone who falls into that category. The experiences of someone who is Afro-Latino is not the same as the experiences of someone who is African-American. And so it's important that when I say Black, I'm not studying just people who are born in America, but I'm studying people who fall in this race category of Black. And so I'm understanding certain impacts like language differences or immigration experiences and how that also impacts people's ability to be entrepreneurs. I'm looking at education, training opportunities for people who come from outside the U.S., first generation entrepreneurs, people who are entrepreneurs, whose parents were entrepreneurs, maybe in some, a place in Africa, and they come here, and the difficulty in the transition from learning business there and then learning business here. And so I'm looking at within this Black category, understanding that the experiences are not all the same, because a lot of times people are like, oh, we have to start a Black community, and it's like, do you know that there are so many different languages Black people talk? And so many different traditions and cultures and customs. It's not as simple as we think. And I think a lot of times when they say Black, they really mean African American.
I'm happy you asked that question, G, because I feel like, especially here in Houston, we're the most diverse city in the entire country.
Absolutely.
And I think sometimes we fall victim to not realizing that we are a melting pot.
Exactly.
It's 147 plus languages spoken just here in Houston. So I'm happy to hear it, because it also rolls back to genealogy.
Yeah.
You talked about businesses that were created and curated in Africa.
Yep.
And what's that going to look like when you come here? And I'm willing to bet that because you are spending all these wheels and all this energy in research, last year into Dr. Asheli, right?
Yes, I'm ready.
What are you doing to recharge those batteries to make sure that you have the stamina to continue to research all these Harvard Review papers and everything else that you got going on?
Nothing. I'm trying to learn about self-care. I understand the concept of it. People make it seem like it's just this really simple concept. Well, take care of yourself. But as a PhD student, you really don't have time. Right now I have a dissertation proposal that I have to finish. I have articles that I have to write. I have a business that I'm running. And so it's not as easy. So I say the simplest thing could be just like going for a drive or doing things like this, which is fun. But I haven't really mastered the whole recharge thing yet, which is impacting. I understand the impact that it
all
has.
of us do, right?
Yeah.
I think all of us are trying to really figure out what that looks like.
Yeah, because for everyone it looks different, and so I go to therapy, so that helps me to recharge.
That's it.
Speak on that. Peel that back a little bit.
Therapy?
Because I don't want to breeze over something that is a cultural taboo, especially as we're talking about African Americans as a whole. People out there, for those that are tuned in right now, we may have some people who are listening to this on SoundCloud that are considering therapy, but they need to hear from someone that looks like them that's interested in therapy or has already signed up.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that.
So when people talk about therapy, they make it seem like you go to this like a psychiatrist, and it's just like there's only one way for therapy. There's only like one type of therapist. They're going to go and they're going to sit in this chair and they're going to just like write stuff down and then give you a prescription. There are so many types. There's counseling. Like my therapist he used to be a former reverend. It's a Black gentleman. And it's important to me that I found somebody who had a faith. Like they understood my faith. And he doesn't prescribe me anything. It's just literally me talking to him. It's not prescription based. It's not him with these really formal outlines of what I should. Yeah, like a checklist. It's nothing like that. But there's levels to this. There's levels to therapy. I started going back in 2014, and it's fun. It was fun in the sense like you're going and you're kind of venting. So I would go with like my laundry list of all the things I'm going to get off my chest and make him deal with, like, here you go, you can have it. But after a while, you have to realize like as much as I pour out, he has to give me back some. And sometimes it's him holding the mirror to my face and being like, hey, you're tripping. And it stretches you, because it's like, I say I want to be a better person and I'm here in this counseling session, but when he's giving me these steps I need to take to be a better person, how willing am I to do them? And then I would say, like, I think the conversation around therapy and counseling, it's becoming less of a taboo because of our generation.
Sure.
And the fact that we're like, no, we're not going to be 50 years old dealing with stuff that happened when we were 5 years old. We're going to get over that. And our generation is like, I'm not going to carry this stuff with me because it's too heavy. And, and for me, that was really the goal for me. I did not want to be 50 years old upset about something that happened when I was a child.
I mean, therapy for sure is massively important, right? Like I go to therapy, and you're right, it has evolved into the way it looks from when I started when I was 21 up until currently. But I think what the biggest that I just got just now listening to you speak is that we can find agreement anywhere. But you can't find agreement in therapy. Yeah. Because that therapist will literally, like you said, like,
hold the mirror to your face.
Nah, I call. That's not what this is.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we can, what I think is so cool about this is that we can talk about therapy and smile about it.
Exactly.
Like, why can't we all smile about talking about going to therapy? Because we know that we're going to be rich inside. And speaking of smile, this portion of the show is sponsored by Smile Design Studios. Smile Design Studios, family and cosmetic dentistry, offers numerous treatments meant to maintain, heal, and customize your smile. If you're not sure what you need, don't worry. Dr. Ellis and her team are happy to meet with you to go over your patient history and goals and offer you professional recommendations. Let Smile Design Studios make you smile. Call us today at 281-969-7388 or check out our website at www.sdshouston.com to schedule your appointment today. All new patients receive a free gift and 50 off your first dental treatment. What? Smile Design Studios looks forward to providing excellent care for you and your family. Shout out to Dr. Ellis. You can also catch her on Docs on, is it Mondays?
Yeah, Docs is on Mondays at 6:45-ish. Gotta be honest. You know?
Hey, you gotta be transparent with it.
Now, obviously, we talked a little bit about how you, or the lack thereof, sewing into self, but you know, out of that comes this fact that you've been going to therapy, which is obviously sewn into your life, and it has space for everybody. You know, I used to love going to therapy. I don't go now. I'm actually looking for a new therapist, but I loved going because I loved getting those things off my chest, the things that I dealt with, the insecurities, all these things, because it's important. I can't be the best me if I'm constantly battling self from a younger generation, right? So talk a little bit about, as you go through the therapy, now you're back into the grind, you're researching. What are those things that you do from a rinse repeat perspective, the things that you kind of have orchestrated out that kind of run ritualistically that allow you to get through your day as efficient as possible?
I think it's like organization, but for me, I've always been like a super organized person, and as my life got more and more stressful and more demanding, I had to let go of all the organization. And it sounds really strange, but
as a researcher, I wouldn't.
I had to let go of it. I had to let go of like this, like minute by minute, just organization, because honestly, you don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be doing at 5 o'clock. I may think I have an idea, but I don't know. And so what I started doing was making organization just as simple as possible. I just have a sticky note every day, and I write my to-do list for the day. It's no times. I mean, unless I have like, you know, something I have to do at a specific time, but there's no like, at this time I'm going to eat breakfast, at this time I'm going to do this. And it takes the stress off of me. It takes the demand off of me, because when you don't meet those moments and those minute marks, you do kind of feel like you're behind. And then you're stressed out because you're behind.
So no apps, you're not using multiple calendars?
No, I have the calendar app on my computer, because sometimes I can't like pull my, you know, my notepad out. So I have the calendar app, which on this day I know like a list of things I need to do. But I had to pull away from like all of these alerts, all of these, I had to pull away from that, and I had to pull away from notifications as well. All my notifications on my phone are off. I get no beep beeps, no alerts, no nothing, because that just too much attachment, people having too much access to you is stressful, because as I'm working on one assignment, then my phone's buzzing off, beep, 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 and it's just too much. And so the ability to give people access to me only when I can fully devote that, like full attention to them.
I think that's huge and critical when you think about the shift that are culturally that we're upon, right? Like, I just had this thought the other day. I was sitting on the couch and I was thinking, I need to start to project the cultural shift that I've exited from corporate America, where it was always access. Like as soon as I got an email, it's like, oh my God, I got to respond back. Right. And now it's like, heck, I can be like, I'll get to that. Later. Sometimes I don't even look at my phone. It could be 3 or 4 hours past. I'm like, I could get to that tomorrow because that's my personal commitment. Talk a little bit about from a research standpoint, what do you envision for the future from a cultural standpoint where we're moving from, we're seeing more people exiting corporate America and starting up their own companies. They're graduating with entrepreneurship degrees.
Yeah. And so actually what's crazy about that, Texas A&M and I'm on the committee for it, they're starting a minor for entrepreneurship. And so you can be whatever major you want and you can minor in entrepreneurship.
Oh, I wish they had that.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, this is so important. They need to have it like at HBCUs as well. But I think that happens especially for the Black community and specifically Black women when we look at the Fortune 500 companies where there is no existence of Black women in these CEO positions, but then just the treatment of Black women as Black individuals and the treatment that they experience where it's like the sexism and the racism that they have to deal with. And then all the stereotypes that go along with it. You're too demanding, you're too aggressive. And so it's a push of them out of corporate America into entrepreneurship where I'm my own boss. Nobody tells me that I'm being too demanding. Nobody tells me how I should or should not run it. But then also one thing that my research is showing that people are taking all the information that they're gaining in these corporate environments and they're using it. So it's not to say that I'm just throwing to the wind all this experience that I've gained, but it's to say that I'm taking what you guys have taught me and then I'm putting it into my business and I'm running my business the way that I believe it should be run. And so it gives you the freedom as well as the knowledge, because I think a lot of times entrepreneurs, I want to start a business and they just go.
Yeah, they jump.
With no information. I'm gonna watch a couple YouTube videos and I know how to do this. And it's like, no, but you don't.
Kid, don't do it. Please
you don't.
Consider.
And then and then the misconception that like, working a day job, they're trying to steal my dream. No, because there's so many entrepreneurs in my study that work full-time jobs and also have an entrepreneurship dream, and they're using the check that they get from their day job to put exactly
7 months ago.
Exactly.
Did it for 14 years
to put into their dream. And so it's like there's a balance of both, and there's nothing wrong with once you get to the point where you're ready to leave corporate America, you make that shift. But there's nothing wrong with working in corporate America.
Transferable skills, y'all.
It is, but you have to be willing to let go of certain things that you've learned in corporate America. You have to be willing to unlearn certain things before you become an entrepreneur, because you have to unlearn the thing about like the flow of information. Somebody's not going to always tell you what to do or tell you how to do it. Do you have initiative? Can you take initiative? If you can't take initiative, you shouldn't be an entrepreneur.
Point blank. It took the I was about to say the same thing. If you sitting at a day job and you need someone to tell you what to do,
time for lunch,
then connect these dots. That's what it looks like.
It's not for you, kid. Yeah. That entrepreneurship is not for you. You mentioned something about the word freedom, though. Talk a little bit about your desires for freedom. As an entrepreneur, do you feel that you are actively reaching for some freedom, or what's that purpose for entrepreneurship for you?
So entrepreneurship for me, people always say freedom. Like think about in my participants in the study, they always talk about freedom when they talk about money. They'll say, okay, I don't want to get a bank loan because I want the freedom. And that just means you don't want somebody telling you you're not spending your money right. That's what accountability. You don't want anybody looking at your budget and say you didn't do it right. And then freedom as far as entrepreneurship, people have this misconception that entrepreneurship means automatic freedom, and it doesn't, because then you are responsible to your clients, and they're
the opposite.
Yes. You thought you was working a lot that corporate gig. Listen, late nights and early mornings means something completely different.
Exactly. And then I'm thinking, like, if you have a business that you feel like it runs 24 hours a day and it's only you, therefore you run 24 hours a day.
Right.
There is no freedom because you're connected to your clients. You're connected to your brand, and so you're always on. So for me, I don't want freedom. I want impact for the whole. Like I want to make sure that whether it's in consulting, whether it's in my research, everything that I do, even with Houston Black owned business, everything that I do, it's my contribution to the whole. And to the whole is Black entrepreneurs. And so my research impacts Black entrepreneurs. Consulting, I'm impacting Black entrepreneurs. Houston Black owned businesses, I'm highlighting Black entrepreneurs. And so that's for me, once I'm able to make a true and significant impact in the whole, like really giving something to this Black entrepreneur community, then I'll be like, okay, I did a good job.
Yo,
I'm not there yet.
There, working towards it.
Yeah.
Because you just hit us with an equation. That W plus W equals the I. Your what plus your Y equals impact.
Yeah. And
when we can figure out that impact, that what and the why will come.
Yeah.
Golly, that was good.
Power.
Thank you.
It was good.
Power.
Yeah, with a capital P. Like superhero P.
Yeah, put a flex on him one time.
Y'all are extra, so extra.
Always.
Just a slight flex. But so let's talk a little bit about the future, because obviously we understand where you've come from. We understand what you all deliver, where you're at today, and I understand that your primary focus has been research, along with obviously still finding yourself and sowing into self so that you can be the best entrepreneur you can be. But talk a little bit about the future of Attucks England, the future of Asheli Atkins. Talk about what you've got lined out for that 2030, that 2040. What's coming down the pipe?
So for me, just to begin, like my research, even though I say Black entrepreneurs, people think like the historical, which I completely understand the history of Black entrepreneurs. That's an important part of, walking into sociology. You have to understand where you came from.
Of course.
And so it's like the true history, not what we see like, little blurbs online. And so my research isn't specifically about the future of like the history of Black entrepreneurs. It's looking at, we are aware of the barriers that you guys face. What strategies are Black entrepreneurs constructing to overcome these barriers? And then really clearly understanding these strategies so that I can then share them with other Black entrepreneurs who come up against these barriers. And so it's like, you're gonna come up against consumer discrimination. You're gonna come up against lending discrimination. There are so many studies out there that say banks will literally know you're credit worthy and still decline you. So when you come up against these barriers, here's a list of strategies that other Black entrepreneurs have used to overcome it. You can use them too. And so that's the root and the foundation of my research. And so for the future, it's to make sure that these Black entrepreneurs are fully aware of all of the strategies that are available to them to overcome these barriers. And so it's not, you don't have to close your business down once you experience these barriers. You can overcome them. And so that's the future. That's what the future looks like for me, is spreading this information, spreading this knowledge.
You know what else the future looks bright for? Advertising.
Come on.
You know where it looks bright at? Right here at the Sphere.
How about that?
Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv.
There it is, good folks. Better get that gunshot. And so I've heard a lot of great things about the progression. I've heard about how you have started and met, and had a need that y'all had to fulfill. I heard about the building of trust. I heard about, focusing on research and what you bring to the table and the importance. I was a part of the study, the importance of what you bring to the table. And then, of course, the ever infamous, self-care, the something that we're always searching for, because as entrepreneurs, we feel like there's a need to sow into self, but at the same time, we don't want to ostracize the clientele. We don't want to put the business on the back burner for fear of losing business.
Yeah.
We now talk about things in the future coming down the pipe, right? And how they can bring a smile, and the pivots that needs to happen and things like that. But what I want to do as a last question at this table is I want to roll this backwards a bit. So let's say you didn't.
That's intense.
You like
music.
that? Yeah. Let's say we would roll this all the way back.
Okay.
5, 10, 20-year plan gone. Take you back to the middle, all the research, the time you spent talking to these entrepreneurs, all the nuanced things that you've asked, which have really meant something else than what they told you. All that stuff eradicated, taking you all the way back to sitting down, having the conversation with Warren and others, saying, you know what, we want to bring this consulting firm to fruition. We put you all the way back before trial and tribulation, yet, and it's a powerful yet, we leave you with the memory, and we slide you a little seed money, infuse some cash your way. How would you build the consulting firm? How would you sow into research in a way this time around that you didn't do the first time?
So if you guys gave me some money, I would build an entrepreneurship center.
Talk about it.
It'd be, nobody better steal this idea. I don't know.
Nobody do it like you,
I'm
though.
gonna, okay. I'm like, is there like a way I can like put a trademark on this? But
It's just you talking about it. It's yours.
so I would build an entrepreneurship center for entrepreneurs, 24-hour center, free access, free Wi-Fi, free consulting. I would also offer grants to where African American entrepreneurs can get certified, because that's a big issue with a lot of these. There's a cost with it, and so people skip the certification and they do things illegally, which makes their business illegitimate. It's not a legitimate business because you don't have a certification to be making food and serving people. You don't have a certification to be making these, bath bombs and these nail polishes. You're not certified. So I would want to give money to these Black businesses to get certified. I would want to build an entrepreneurship center where people can come and work and 24 hours a day, because I see a lot of incubators and a lot of other places around the U.S. have these entrepreneurship centers, and I don't know why Houston doesn't have one. And then additionally, I want them to have free access to consulting. Like at Texas A&M, their business school offers sit down meetings with like patent lawyers for like an hour, and it's free. You just go and sign up.
Nice.
And I'm thinking the way that Houston entrepreneurs, specifically Black entrepreneurs, could benefit from that, sitting down with the financial advisor for free and having them go over your information, sitting down with the marketing consultant for free and having them build out your marketing plan instead of them doing it themselves, instead of them going to YouTube. Like, the benefits of an entrepreneurship center in Houston could create not only more Black businesses, but create sustainable Black businesses, because we don't need more. We need ones that actually, if you're gonna be here in 10 years, you're gonna be here in 6 months. Let's be real, 6 months. Okay,
and
Let's
grow.
call it and expand.
Exactly.
Right.
And so
Scale.
and I wouldn't want to put any money at cost, like anything, expenses for them, because entrepreneurship is expensive. And so why not go to a place that gives you all free access to everything? It's expensive as hell.
Yo.
Yeah, it is. Yo, listen. Like,
that debt game is real.
Yeah.
it's real, but being able to command the dollar for the debt and knowing that you're going to get an ROI on it, I think that's also a missing piece to it. Another missing piece that I think will be dope in your center. I'm pouring.
Yeah,
I'm
come
pouring
on,
it.
come on. I said it first.
is having a structured seminar for pitch. Like, how are you pitching your business?
And I
like,
definitely want to hold businesses there.
Yeah.
Like hold work, not businesses, but hold workshops there, like a pitch competition.
Competition, an
having
elevator
someone
pitch.
Having someone train you. Can you describe your business, and not
60
describe it
seconds.
in like, let us know what you do, but like describe it to where you are selling it to someone. I think that's the difference. People think pitch means just describe your business.
No.
Selling it and telling me what it is two totally different things.
That's a differentiator, because I've been a part of a couple of pitch competitions, and I felt like it was more structured around description versus, oh my God, I want to write you a check right now.
And and that's a big difference. So having things like that, having things like workshops where somebody talks to them about, subcontracting, because people hear about that term and it sounds so unattainable for a lot of small businesses, but it's actually not that difficult
At all.
And people don't know that. And so it's like, it seems like common knowledge to us because we are in these environments where we hear about it. But when you're a small business that's just coming up, it seems so unattainable. You don't even look to it, but you're missing out on money because you're not looking to it, because you're not informed.
Totally.
Yep. So that's what I want to do. If I had money come my way,
And
that would be the consulting firm, and we would be working at this center.
Come on.
Yeah.
You gotta sow into this center.
I'm ready for it. Look, I'm ready. Like, I already
exactly.
see, like, what side of town? Like, come on, what could I do to support this project?
Oh, yeah, do a live show from there. But it's because you've been through the things you've been through.
Yeah.
It's because you have stood the test of time, and you're just at the infancy of continuing to build this empire that you want to build, and so into all these businesses, not just those you've interviewed or had conversations with, but those in the future. Is because of all that, Asheli, that we would like to officially coin you a startup master.
Thank you.
So please let anybody who's tuned in right now, let them know where they can reach you, find you, have conversations with you anywhere on social media or online.
Okay, so we can start with Attucks England. Attucks England Consulting is ATTUCKS England, like the place ENGLAND.com, or you can follow us on Instagram. Then I run Houston Black Owned Business, which is HOUBLKBUS. It's on Instagram and Facebook. That's where I highlight Black businesses. And then if you want to learn a little bit about me and my research, you can visit www.ashlyatkins.com, and that's Asheli is ASHELI, Atkins ATKINS.com, and you can follow me on Instagram at Asheli Atkins on Instagram.
There it is, good people. KG, where can the lovelies reach you at, my
It
dear?
was such a strong KG.
You like that? Yeah, I was feeling it.
My peeps, you can follow me across all social media platforms at KOGpassion.com. For my YouTubers, my LinkedIn, my Instagrammers, my bookers. That's where you can catch me. What about you, G?
And of course, anywhere online, folks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, snappity chatting at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with the Z. If you have any questions about what we do here on the show, feel free to shoot us an email, startupmasters@thesphere.tv. Of course, if you know somebody that you want to recommend for the show, definitely reach out to us on social media as well, at The Sphere TV. Use our coveted hashtag StartupMasters, and we will get back with you. This has been another electrifying episode. We will see you all next time. Take care, folks.